but are also racing at the same time. And we are underway here. Let's see what we got here. A couple Sanctuary starts. Lots of money in Link's house. And the small key for Sanctuary.
We also got an early map check. I saw 2 crystals at Eastern and Hera, but I didn't see what we had at Desert.
I'll catch it on the swing back here. It is the red pendant.
Alright. We got 5 rupees from the Tier 1 tree pull, as we're seeing PKR and Alex heading over to Uncle, as well as Cedu. Goomba, meanwhile, is staying on that Sanctuary route and probably going to go check Lumberjack Cave here in a second.
Oh my!
Whoa!
We have an Uncle Assured Sword! How about that?
How vanilla?
Well, it was actually vanilla. He also gave us a shield, but details. Agasha coming up here on Goomba's end. Got a piece of art in the escape chest. And today is just arrows at Aga 1, so not necessary for that, but we still have that logic quirk. That 1 sword is all the seed expects of us.
So interesting that we're seeing PKR head into the escape sequence. I didn't check to see if she was one of the ones that went to Sanctuary, but if not, she's only going to be able to go to Dark Crossroads, and then we'll have to know about from there.
Based on the fact she doesn't have the small key, she did not start at Sanctuary. That was only Goomba.
Oh yeah, I could have just seen that up there. It's been a while. I'm rusty.
Fair enough. Red Boomerang for PKR. Not exactly the best boomerang, but I mean, it gets you stun stuff.
So Goomba, meanwhile, is heading to Lake Hylia, I would assume, to buy bombs. Also gonna check that the cape is on the Lake Hylia island.
That's right. So, Jax, how long has it been since you commentated? Let me just ask that out of curiosity.
January 4th was the last time I commentated. Ooh, lamp in Escape.
Ah, so you were at least aware that we have a hint system in play, so good to know.
Yes, of course. Well, of course we have a hint system in place.
Yeah. The sword was on Uncle today. It was just there in his hand, so it wasn't Uncle assured by any means, but you could consider it if you think about it like that. He just decided to randomly have a sword today. Back of Sahas was out. Nothing much to speak of there.
Except a lot of explosives, which, unfortunately for Goomba, having bought those bombs, unfortunately those 6 went to waste now, and Goomba is, without a sword, gonna go ahead and head into Eastern Palace.
I mean, there's 3 free items there. 4 technically, because we do have the lamp in Logic. Meanwhile, Seto and Nissan has been picking up a heart container here in Kakariko, just giving the once-over. And PKR is gonna use that lamp to go to the back. You know what the sad part is? She could have done the whole thing from this side if she went to Sanctuary first. Oh well. Kind of have an idea of knowledge that we have and she doesn't. And a power glove found for Nissan Alex in the chicken hut. That also picking it up. Net as well in the well. There's a small key for PKR. Oh, that's
Bottle Vendor handing out swords today.
Master Sword already, and the Quake Medallion. Now, there is a logic quirk. That second sword is actually not put into the progression of the logic. So, if Aga is required, we need that cape. And because it's in Dark World, Aga's not required. Aga's dead.
Yep.
Conversely, that same logic means that the tablets are also useless to check. They will not have progression.
Meanwhile, while we were discussing that, Goomba got some fashionable footwear, as we are seeing.
Ah, the boots are in Eastern. Well, everyone picking that up, and we're about to get our first bit of information about the sea here from Eastern Palace. Except it's a joke, Kent.
Womp womp.
It happens.
Looks like we also found Quake while we were inside of Kakariko.
Yeah, I was in the well as well.
Well.
PGR is now about to start doing the Kakariko checks. Is there anything good on library? Doesn't look like it. No, that looks like 10 errors to me.
And Cito is not gonna YOLO the race game, gonna just check it first before we get going. And since it's just 100 rupees, Sato says, I'm done.
Yeah, the 100 rupees is not a unique item, despite there only being one in the pool, which is an interesting thing. But the only unique item that's considered junk is the singular arrow.
So with that power glove, Cito is now going to check back of escape.
Yep. 3 items here. I don't think PKR checked these.
Nope, didn't have the small key.
Yeah.
And doesn't have the glove to go get them, but whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. Heart piece is okay.
Alright, so we've got Alex now making his way to the South Shore, checking the dam and most assuredly Mini Choldorm Cave.
Yeah, we'll start with the dam first. PGR attempting the chicken clip. Just a fun little thing you can do, but it can soft lock you. Rarely. Someone just threw away 10 perfectly good arrows. What a waste.
Ooh, and Titan's mitts in the dam.
That's an interesting find. That puts not a lot of logic just yet. It does mean, though, that we have our Dark World access once we find the Moon Pearl. But it's also not the ideal Dark World access because the only portable available to us is Village of Outcasts. And, well, have you tried going from Village of Outcasts over to Palace of Darkness? It's actually not quite a long walk.
Nope. It can be quite a trek.
Alright, well, let's see what we got here in Mini Moldarm. 3 bombs. Heart piece. A potion? That's not bad. And another heart container as well. Yeah, that fifth chest was kind of bad as well. I don't know.
So at this point, we've got Ice Rod Cave to check. We've got actually both Flanktuary locations with those Titan's mitts are now in logic. We got the first few items up on Death Mountain, and we also got a Genis Cave. So the big thing at this point is we're looking for that Moon Pearl for the Dark World access.
Yeah, and ideally we would like to find the hammer first so that we are not limited to just that one out-of-the-way portal. It's nice if you want to go to Village of Outcasts, but if you want to get anywhere else, it's kind of a burden. Because that's easy, like, maybe 2 minutes of walking.
And we have Literacy, which means Pendant Desert Palace is now in logic.
Not only is it in logic, it is full clearable. For across all of our runners. We have the lamp from PKR. We have the boots from Goomba. We have the gloves from Nissan and Edo. Actually, everyone has the gloves. Never mind. And the book from Nissan Alex. So, yeah, no matter which one, everyone has a piece of the Desert Palace puzzle here.
Alex is now gonna go get part of that puzzle with the lamp and escape.
Meanwhile, Seto was gonna check Ice Rock Cave. I don't think we saw this from Nissan?
That was where the book was.
Right. I had the memory of a goldfish, apparently.
That's why we work together.
Indeed. It's hard watching 4 feats at once.
That is true. I mean, heads, that's why we need 2 trackers today, because we have enough of a hard time keeping track of 4 screens. Try tracking 4 screens. But
yeah.
Relkin and Drossi are our trackers today, and they're doing a good job keeping track of all these items our runners are finding.
More importantly, keeping us honest. Now there's the lamp for Alex. Goomba is taking these boots and running away with the sea, quite literally here. Now heading to escape, which will give him the lamp.
PKR is gonna. PKR still needs the boots from Eastern, but also on her way to get the book.
Alright. So, there's some theory crafting here. We have Hera as, we have the Death Mountain as an option, we have Desert as an option. I don't think Goomba checked the big key chest on Eastern Palace either. So what do you think? Where do you think our progression is?
I have a sinking suspicion that it would be in Desert, just because of the fact that we've gotten all of these items in kind of the tier... Okay, I'm trying to make sure I get my logic right. The sphere, I guess sphere 1, you know, like the things that you can get immediately, to me kind of would lend me to think that the seed wants you to go to Desert, but, I mean, debating is still possible there.
Well, there's 2 items in Desert, there's also 2 items on the outside, so item density-wise, it's a somewhat safe play, and I would be okay with that as well.
Plus, right now, as much as you would want to go to Death Mountain, without the mirror or the hammer or the hook shot, you're basically only getting about 2 items.
Yeah. 2 items and information on a 3rd, and also a hint.
Alright, Agina's Cave just has sticks. Alex not having the boots, nopes from there. PKR, meanwhile, is making the Death Mountain climb.
I would not have done what Nissan did, personally. I was already in the desert area. I would have at least checked the edge while I was there. See if that was anything important, and then left. If I wasn't going to go into desert.
Well, Alex is making his way to Eastern Palace, and so most likely we'll probably get those boots, and then we'll see if he decides to run back.
PKR dead rocked.
Those squirrels. Those squirrels.
Alright, so... Seto about to get the joke hint. I don't think we've seen anyone talk to Sahasrah, and here we go. Green Pendant is in Turtle Rock today! No Ice Rod required! Which unfortunately means that Nissan predicting Ice Rod on pedestal is not getting it.
Nope. In fact, that pretty much pulls a lot of stuff off of pedestal, which we'll go over once we get the hint here. Boots are in Eastern Palace. Thanks, game. We already knew that.
No. We didn't know that, but PKR did not. That is a great hint for her, actually.
I will concur with that. You are correct. That was a good one for her to find.
And she is beelining it for Eastern Palace. She wants to go fast.
And to the point, she didn't find anything of progression value in Death Mountain, which means Desert is looking like the play. But we've still got... Flanktuary is still in a possibility. Zora actually is also a possibility, but the runners are probably going to avoid that one like the plague.
I mean, it makes sense.
But anyway, at this point, with Turtle Rock being a pendant, that means both Fire and Ice Rods can't be on pedestal, Hammer can't be on pedestal, Canis and Maria can't be on pedestal, and the medallion needed to get into Turtle Rock, so that wiped a lot of things off of the pedestal hype index.
Yep. There's still the bow and there's still the hookshot, though. Of course, we have the book. We can just straight up check the pedestal and just kill the hype outright. And is that what Seto's going to do? No, Seto's going to choose the boots and check these locations here. Alright. Bonk Rocks today. Just a heart container. Bit of an upgrade for that. And we did miss was in King's Tomb, and it is the Silver Arrows, so...
Wow.
It is 100% desert. Book required.
Goomba is actually heading over to the Zora area.
Goomba armed Fake Flipper.
Yeah.
Oh no, but lost it because of the heart container refill.
Oops.
Not his fault, to be honest. He got the piece of heart and didn't realize it was at 3.
So it was Goomba, we said, was the one that noped out early of Eastern Palace, because I assume Goomba didn't have the hammer, right? Or the lamp, sorry.
Yeah, Goomba did not have the lamp.
So we're about to see what that is from Alex.
Seto, meanwhile, is going to give us a look at our desert. Is it on the... We know Agina's nothing, but what is Graveyard? And going to ignore Agina?
Ooh! Moon Pearl on the desert ledge!
And that goes right back to exactly what I said earlier. If Nissan had checked the ledge, he would have had that pearl about 3 minutes ago.
And just a piece of heart on the vanilla big key chest, so out goes Alex.
So PKR will know after this to go check there. Nissan does know to go to desert, so it's not a huge time loss. Alright, what do we got here on the torch? It's a small key, so... A piece of hearts in Mimic Cave, so good information there as well. Mimic Cave is not required.
And actually, that works out to Alex's... It, in some ways, actually helps Alex out of noping out of the desert area early, because the thing was, desert was boots locked. He was gonna get noped out no matter what.
Well, here's the thing. You don't need the boots to get the Moon Pearl.
True.
And for all we know, there could not be any items here in desert. And yeah, 3 bombs there. Looks like Big Key was in the first chest. And the compass was there, so yeah, the second item was lamp locked.
Which,
so, yeah.
Which Sato is in that state. He has not been to escape.
So really it's going to come down to Dark World navigation at this point. Where are you going to go from Village of Outcast? Do you start exploring Village of Outcast, or do you make a beeline for the farther checks like Hype Cave, even Palace of Darkness?
I personally, in this state, I do Skullwoods first, and then I basically would make a path to Hype Cave, but I would be doing Thieves Town, I'd be doing Village of Outcasts, I'd be doing every check I could up to Hype Cave.
Yeah. I would agree to that. I wouldn't make a play over to Palace of Darkness specifically, in part because you can't access it, and actually, that could be a way that Aga's still required.
Well, no,
No, I stand corrected. You're right, because we'll need to get the flippers before we get the cape.
Well,
and that puts it in logic. Speaking of which,
PKR giving
Misery Mire is our other pendant, and our 5/6 is Ice and Thieves Town.
And
so no medallions required.
And also just couch cash on the pedestal. So rip Ped.
So Ped's not required. And Night, which means Misery Mire and Turtle Rock are not required. Goomba's gonna go ahead and see what's the items on Lamp Mola's.
I mean, with that, granted, he does not have that information, but now knowing that Mire may not be required, I would certainly at least kill Lambo for the item while I'm here.
Indeed. I would agree to that as well.
Goomba going with bomb strats so far, using some of those bombs to damage those Lambos.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
One down.
Two down. And there's the third. Lambolas only have a piece of heart, so Desert is completely optional. You just have to run through to get the Moon Pearl.
Yep. One thing we also didn't point out earlier, Thieves Town and Ice Palace are the 5/6 crystals.
I did mention that, yes.
Oh, sorry. I was so focused on the pedestal that I was unfortunately half listening to you with the map check. But to your earlier point, yeah, once you get the flippers, that would get you pod access. But actually, no, Ice Palace kills it because you need the hammer to finish Ice Palace, which means the need to do Aga 1 is killed by having the hammer to get to Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, it's completely dead. There is no instance in which it works.
And Alex is gonna dip into the first crystal dungeon of Thieves Town.
Yeah, the only thing Alex could leave behind is the big chest. Instead of taking a death, I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. Looks like it was. No! Seto died trying to set up the statue. Nissan has to be careful now. One hit. Traps can kill, the Zazax can kill. And we're about to see the bunny. Is that Raph?
I think that was Splinter.
It's hard to tell. The mirror has been found on Nissan Alex's end. That is actually a huge find.
Especially... Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done.
Because he's in a huge position to check stuff. He can check Graveyard Ledge, and all those checks on the way to Hype Cave that are mirror locked are now available to him as well.
Yep. That was where we were both getting to.
Here, just grabbing the Moon Pearl. And unfortunately is going to go fight the Lambolas to make sure that this item's not important. It's a safe enough play, I will admit. I can see it happening. We just know it's not going to pay out. And there is a hint in Thieves Town, so Nissan Alex is setting up to get some more information here as well. Oh no! Oh no, poor Seto. He pulled the statue but got bumped into the Genie. And thus died.
Ouch.
And I didn't see the hint if Alex checked it.
I think Alex did, but I missed it on the restream.
And I missed on the swing back as well.
Chat's saying it was something about a bottle. Which all of
something... Bottle
Okay.
about the pose, it looks like, was the hint.
Okay. Which all of our runners have a bottle, so Sick Kid is taken care of. It would just be if while you're in the area, would you want to do Graveyard Ledge?
And yeah, that's actually convenient because Nissan Alex doesn't need to go back towards that way. Can just focus on going straight south after being done with Thieves Town. That is kind of a convenient hint, yeah.
Oh!
Oh no, Nissan X is taking a death there. That's a somewhat brutal one too, going all the way back to the entrance of Thieves Town. Gonna keep going though. Those X deal a surprising amount of damage. And yeah, everyone now has the Moon Pro at this point. Goomba now getting the mirror. PKR is also in the Village Jackets area. All the runners are slowly converging on this Thieves Town.
Seems like that's where the seed wants you to go. Because the mirror, at this point, we can, as you were saying, we can do more of the checks on the way to Hype Cave. And it gives us access to Hera, but not much.
Actually, combined with what we have, we can do Smith Chain. And that is not what Nissan wanted to see. Unfortunately, the small key in the main is just as it normally is.
Which means there's potentially an item in the big chest that we don't have the hammer for.
Could have already even been guaranteed. I wasn't actually keeping track if we found the map for Compass yet.
Now, Alex does have to be careful with only 3 hearts on this blind fight.
Nope, that's gonna be a problem. PKR is not going into Thieves Town.
Just found a big 20 at the digging game.
Okay, there's a chance here. Compass is not accounted for in Thieves Town. So as long as Blind does not have it.
Which he doesn't.
Alright. No need to worry about the Thieves Town big chest, it just has the compass. And a second bottle, too.
It's a fairy, so.
PKR finding a heart piece at Stumpy, but she doesn't have the mirror, so she can't check the Cave South of Hound Grove here.
Nope, she's going on the Froggy World Tour, which is going to end at Hype Cave.
Yeah, and the unfortunate part here is, with the mirror, could have done the purple chest instead.
Alright,
Ether
Ether and Hype Cave. Piece
the
of heart.
piece. Money, the hammer!
Okay!
Well, PKR will be going into Thieves Town then. She was probably worried about that hammer being... the hammer locking an item. But that will alleviate her concerns. And this will also set her up to check hair pigs and get the purple chest later if needed.
As we're seeing Alex take the chest on his way back to Gary to open it up. With that hammer, though, that would really opens up Death Mountain right now. That would be where I would be heading next.
It doesn't open up Death Mountain for PKR, though.
Still needs the mirror, yes.
But to our other runners who already have the mirror, it is going to be a huge find. Here's what PKR missed in Cave Salva Grove. It is just arrows, so dodge the bullet there. But that will be something that she will check and waste just a little bit of time on when she has to go back through the path again. And PKR is not stopping. She's going all the way to Catfish.
Makes sense with not having the mirror. At this point, doing Pyramid Ledge, you run the risk of orphaning Catfish. You might as well get it done now.
Yeah. And today, Catfish has just a heart piece for us today.
Just a little bit of love on Valentine's Day.
You know, the sad part is if PKR also had the mirror at this point, could have mirrored and checked Zora at the same time. But hindsight is 20/20 all that. Oh no! That mirror was actually really helpful because that's where our flute is, the purple chest.
Yeah, that logically doesn't really help us all that much, but in terms of traversal, yeah, kind of big.
Well, here's the thing. It also opens up 3 items over the mire area. And just having fast travel in general is going to help us a lot. That's also, logically, for Nissan, access to... Well, now it's not going to be exclusive access, but access to Palace of Darkness. So that mirror could be important. I mean, it already is. Swamp is a crystal.
Let's see what PKR, I would assume, with that turn, is going to head for Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town next.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The only reason she didn't head into Thieves Town is, from what I can understand, she was just didn't want to risk the Thieves Town big chest not having something important.
Alright, Swag Duck Anthem time, ladies and gentlemen.
Fast travel unlocking for Nissan Alex.
And with that, the Hawk's about to rock, and we salute you.
Now, I will defend PKR's play, because a lot of people don't like isolating that Thieves Town big chest. I'm actually one of those people. But unfortunately, this was not the time to chicken out of at least the front 4 chests.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily... The thing is that you're basically having a gamble there. Okay, do I want to go into Thieves Town without the hammer and risk the big chests not having an item? Or do I want to delay Thieves Town until I know I either have the hammer or have to go in there? And, you know, it's not necessarily a bad play, it's just today it just happened to be the wrong play.
Yeah. And it's Swamp. A unique item is in Tower of Hera.
And Alex is on his way.
Now, unique item is any one of the Y items, any one of the A items. Or it could be the singular arrow. Swords are considered a unique item. Armor upgrades are not considered a unique item. Shields are not considered a unique item. The gloves are, but we already have both. And Nissan is heading straight in.
There he goes.
So we're about to see what this unique item in Hera is.
Alright, small key to start in the basement.
Probably means big key.
Yeah, if this next one is not the big key, we got a coffee break coming in.
We also have another hint. Quake is in Kakariko well, thanks game, we already knew that.
And there's your unique item. It's an ice rod.
Yep. Well, here's the thing though. If both items are unique items in Hera, they could be talking about either one. But looking at these dungeons and knowing what we know, this could be very bad to find that ice rod. Or rather, knowing where the ice rod is. Because if our fire rod's available to us, and our Samari is available to us, there is a pretty strong possibility that Green Pendant has our hook shot, which is required for Swamp. Alright, we're gonna see Nissan climb up Tower of Hera here now. One more item left. Meanwhile, PKR is fighting blind the thief.
Goomba also giving us a... Oh, sorry, Goomba also giving us a Peg Cave check. And just a Fisher-Price shield in Peg Cave.
Yeah, no one's gonna pick up the shield. Meyer check, though. That's gonna be an interesting to find. PKR has defeated blind.
Meyer is Bombos, which is the one medallion we don't have.
That's arguably a good thing. Fire Rod! Both rods are in Tower of Hera!
Wow!
So yeah. That unique item for Hera could mean the Ice Rod or the Fire Rod. But that also means that we're now a Kena Samari away, and maybe Bombos Medallion away from finding Trinix, and Trinix could have the hook shot. Be it on him or on the Green Pendant. Could also have our bow.
Yeah, pretty much anything could be there at this point. But there's crystal number 2 for Alex. I mean, the one saving grace for Nilson Alex right now is the fact that without the Kena Samaria, you can't even get into Turtle Rock at this point. Medallion pending.
And I was so hyped about the fire rod, I didn't even read the second hint.
It says a unique item was in a cold cave, which was the book.
Yeah, okay. Yes, Velanoff. Bow could be on Green Pendant, because if we find the Kena Samaria and we can enter Turtle Rock, there's something stopping it. The bow's only required for Eastern, for Pod, or for Ganon's Tower. Nothing says that it can't be locked behind the Green Pendant. Alright,
so we're getting a Paradox Cave check from Alex here. PKR getting that flute from the lunchbox is making a beeline back to
Turn it on.
CAC to activate it.
Alright.
Seto's in Hera. Goomba is gonna be right behind him.
Tempered.
Bacon Sword in Paradox Cave.
Alright. Now the main meat of Mini Moldern Cave.
Oh. Seto got the ice rod and said, "No mas, I'm done."
Bombos
And
in
left.
Paradox.
Alright, that's all 3 medallions.
Why did Seto leave Hera? Hera's a crystal.
I don't know. Maybe saving Ganon's tower for last, Hera for last before Ganon's tower, but you're gonna need that fire rod that's in there. He must have Seto could also think that was the unique item, and said, "Alright, I got that, I'm good." And it's like, well, unfortunately, there's 2 of them.
Yeah, that's the one thing that can trip you up. You're relying solely on the hints. Just because it says a unique item doesn't mean there's multiple unique items.
Oh, Pickalax ALT in chat bringing up the other point. He doesn't have the lamp. He never went to escape.
Oh, that's right. And the big key is locked behind a fire source. And it's Quake to enter Turtle Rock. So Bo could theoretically be on the green pendant or inside this dungeon, but we need to find the Cane of Samaria first.
Well, Nelson Alex is going to at least check the hint.
And the hint today says, the Tower Hera big key needs fire in Tower Hera.
Thanks,
Redundant hint,
game.
but thank you.
Alright, so we got Super Bunny Cave. We have the first chest in Hookshot Cave that we can bonk to.
Fire right now
There's
for Goomba.
powder.
Powder and a heart piece. Which gives a full heart container. Seto now with the Bombos medallion has now all 3. And we're about to see Hookshot Cave from Nissan Alex. Can only get the first chest here. And in case you're wondering, is this in logic? Yes. The game can expect you to do bonk jumps. Oh, but Nissan accidentally lifts the pod. You need that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's how you bonk over there. Yeah. The thing is that in Ganon's tower, bonking is the only way to get to that fairy fountain right before the gauntlet. So, because of that, bonking was a thing the original devs of this game expected you to be a thing, to which we allow bonking.
Yeah. It's an intended game mechanic. It's not used that often, at least in terms of puzzles. And you could, and it honestly, it's so inconspicuous to think about doing that it actually took me several years before I ever figured it out. And I grew up with the game.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the thing I initially figured out when I was 8 years old and playing this game, but I know it was that is one of the things that I did figure out in my younger years. Alright, so Alex is heading for, I assume, Peg Cave, and then I would hope he would check Magic Bat. Seto, meanwhile, is heading for Spike Cave.
Oh, apparently bonking was in Nintendo Power. Never knew that. Never had a subscription.
Okay, Seto chugs the potion, so he should be good. Opens the chest, just a big 20.
Yeah, meanwhile, PKR got the fire rod as well. kind of lagging behind everyone else here, but you never know. PKR can make a deviation that the owners don't expect and just stumble onto the next bit of progression, which in this case might be the Cane of Samaria.
At this point, pod is open but not full clearable. You could fake flipper to ice.
Could fake flipper to ice. Could be on Zora.
Speaking of fake
could
flippers,
could even. Oh no! Gets hit, and that as a result is an instant kill.
So. My apologies, I didn't mean to step on you there, but you were about to say something with the fake flipper that Seto tried to do.
Actually, I was gonna say that Myers also play, but yes. For those wondering how Seto died there, normally if you fake flipper and you get hit, the game tries to put you back in the last place you entered from, or at least put you back on in a state you can go to. But you've confused the game, so you don't know where you go, and as a result, you soft lock. We've patched this so that instead of soft locking, you just die. So with fake flipper comes the risk of getting one hit knocked out, which could throw you off.
All right. So meanwhile, Nilsson. Alex is heading for Skullwoods because hasn't done that. Seto's gonna check Pyramid. And Goomba and PKR are still on their Death Mountain checks. Fade Roll bringing up a point because we were talking about Nintendo Power earlier, and apparently Bonking was in there. He's like, some of you guys never had a subscription to Nintendo Power as a kid, and it really shows. I gotta tell you, my dad got me subscribed to Nintendo Power when it issue number 1. I was a year old at the time and couldn't read to save my life, but I got that subscription. I also am now almost 34 years old and have no memory.
Yeah, I never got the subscription, and I was like, I grew up with Nintendo. I just didn't grow up with their magazine.
Alright, well, Seto was trying to do a Zora check with that fake flipper. We see a big 20 on the ledge. And Seto is going to make his way to the big fish.
Yeah, checking it manually.
And without the flippers, has to take the intended route. Which gives me time to set up. There once was a fish named Zora. Who gives you flippers in vanilla. And Rando, he sucks. For 500 bucks. We did the stupid trick for a 10% return on investment. Alex, meanwhile, was going to the back of Skullwoods with that fire rod, which now makes that Skullwoods play makes more sense, because I forgot about that fire rod.
Yeah, this will help him out a lot. It's another crystal dungeon to clear.
And now Seta's going to try that fake flipper again.
Gonna check the island here first. And Goomba is not far behind Nissan Alex, going into the back of Skullwoods as well. Alright. So where could our next bit of progression be?
Well, I don't remember if we have both items in Skullwoods.
Well, here's the catch-22 here. Look at our dungeons right now that we have available to us. Look at the dungeons we don't have to do. we could have a scene in which the Cane of Samurai is not required until GT, or at all. So realistically, we just need to find the bow and the hook shot, and the flippers as well. And the moth is dead on both fronts, but only has a map.
So crystal number 3 for both Alex and Goomba. Alright, hobo check from Seto. Just another big
money.
20. Alright.
You know what? I'm starting to think something here.
If it's the thing that I'm thinking of doing a sequence break to Ice Palace.
I'm thinking both in first chest of Dark Palace. So he's throwing us a curveball.
Predictably, Goomba and Alex both checked the couch caches on the pedestal. I can see your point about doing first chest pod.
And I think that's where Zeto is going. Because he does not been to escape.
Yeah, he's still missing that lamp, which would have led him to the fire rod.
This would actually be a blessing in disguise for Seto.
Goomba's going into Mire.
And it looks like Alex is going to check Mire shed first.
But anyway,
that's the thanks. Alex actually pushed the block out, which locked the chest, so he has to reset the room.
Ouch. Alright. So I have my theory about sequence breaking Ice Palace. The thing is, it's about to be shown whether it might be a good idea or not once we see what Seto shows us as this first chest and pod, which is your theory.
Well, it could be the flippers as well, so we don't have to sequence break ice.
True.
But I think this chest does have progression. It's a very strong, high chance.
Moment of truth.
Oh, flippers are in the mire, actually. And
well,
it's the big key.
there's the big key, so...
Mire's the play. Pendant Mire.
Yeah. And the thing is, with Swamp being a crystal, you have to get those flippers. Because you can't fake flipper through, Swamp Palace. But yeah, with the number of items we had left, bow, hook shot, and flippers, you can bomb jump your way around Ice Palace, where if the logic, for certain requires the flippers, may require the hook shot or the cane. But the thing is, you can sequence break your way around all of that, to where that's why I was kind of thinking, maybe just go and finish Ice Palace now, because do you want to run the risk of gambling a Pendant Mire or a not completable Crystal Pod? But it turned out Pendant Mire was in fact where you needed to go.
I missed the hidden piles of darkness, but...
heart containers on a tablet.
Okay.
Alex now has those flippers as well. Seto tried to do a bottle glitch, but unfortunately didn't get it set up all the way. And so now he's going into Mire too.
Yeah, the bottle glitch, how it works is you have to still be on the screen left when you drink the bottle. And according to chat here, Seto walked too far to the left, so the screen was already locked in. You want that screen to scroll so you can scroll it back to the right after you're drinking the potion, which unlocks your camera. So we have 3 runners in Mire. Oh, but Nissan takes a death.
Ouch.
But does have a fairy.
Some bombs are in Ganon's tower. Woo-hoo!
Thanks, game.
Woo-hoo! There's the second item of a Fisher-Price My First Shield.
So let's just come in here for the flips and leave.
And Goomba says sayonara.
I mean, it makes sense. Pedestal is dead. Don't need to fight Vitreous.
Yep.
Ironically, we only have 5 hints left to read. One of which
Goomba
is
is now...
Sorry, go on.
Sorry. No, I was gonna say, Goomba's doing the Zora checks. I wouldn't be surprised if Ice Palace is next on the docket.
Oh, PKR just fake flippered. Ice 1. A unique item is held...
Is in Tower of Hera. Alright, I have a dumb question.
Duplicate hint.
So... Yeah, but okay, but that's the thing I was curious about. See, I'm prepping for the Ocarina of Time randomizer. And one of the things I saw in that one is that if you see a certain hint, like, it basically does, there's kind of a hint that's something like that. So the fact that we saw 2 of them, does that mean that we know there's 2 unique items in Hera? Is that what the seed is telling us by duplicating that hint?
In this case, no, because it's sort of a pseudo bug in the hint system to accidentally produce duplicate hints.
Okay.
This is still the debut of the hint system.
Understood.
And you can see there's some bombs in Ganon's Tower was our second hint, so yeah, another duplicate hint.
Alright, so we had a convergence on Meyer, and now we're starting to see, with those flippers, a convergence on Ice Palace.
And someone's asking the actual chat, which glitch rules are allowed during these? No major glitches are allowed, but minor glitches are allowed. As you can see, Niso now is doing the fake flipper. Nope, never mind. Doesn't even need to do the fake flipper. He has the real flippers. But VKR did fake flippers to get in here, which is a minor glitch.
Alright, and we've got all 4 runners making their way into Ice Palace.
And what constitutes as a minor glitch versus major glitch? There's sort of a clear indication of 3 different categories in terms of major glitches in terms of glitches in Link to the Past. You have minor glitches like fake flipper and boot item dashing, which only save you a handful of seconds. They don't really break the seed. Then there's over glitches, which you can do screen wraps and all that nonsense. That just breaks it, but still a little interesting. And then you have full glitches, all glitches allowed, like exploration glitch, and that's just nonsense right there. You could literally beat the game in 5 minutes if you were allowed any and all glitches.
Which really isn't that fun in terms of a race, if we're being perfectly honest.
But yeah, in terms of the logic on this seed, you don't need to do any glitches. But no major glitches are allowed in terms of the rules of the race. You can still do minor glitches if you want, but they will be. But any items you find will be out of sequence in terms of the logic.
3rd hint is Piece of Heart is with the grumpy fish. And that's when we refer to a sequence break, that's what we're saying, is that a minor glitch is allowing a runner to go somewhere that the logic says they can't go, but that's how they're getting around it.
Yeah, also a sequence break is tricks like the bomb jump you just saw Goomba do.
Hook!
The hook shot's in ice. All right. That's unfortunately bad for PKR. But if the bow is in here, that means PKR will get the mirror, or get the flippers from Meyer, and then nope out and immediately go to Swamp. So we've put the seed together here. Now we just need to find all the parts to make it whole.
At this point, we're just... the thing is, we're a bow away from go mode at this point.
Yeah, Kane may not be required this seed, folks, as a reminder. We do not need it for... because... Mystery Mire is not a crystal, Turtle Rock is not a crystal, and the big key to Ganon's Tower may be on left side. If the big key is on right side, and we will not know that, then it's required by logic.
Alright.
We'll also know if Samara is required if a small key is on Cold Stare, which haven't been keeping track of the keys at all.
Well, Well, we got another item of a mushroom in the big chest.
Alright, so PKR is going to fight Cold Stare here. If it is Canis Samaria, if this is small key on Cold Stare, then Canis Samaria is expected of our runners at this point. It's not required. It may not be required, but could be telling of what GT wants us to do.
Alright, moment of truth.
It is 20
Big
rupees.
20.
So, this could be a Samaria. It could be a Samaria's list. That's a hard word to say.
Samaria-less seed, even though I get tripped up too. Alright. So, PKR, where are you heading next?
It has to be Meyer.
Yeah.
She needs to go get those flippers.
But first she's gonna turn in that mushroom, which makes sense.
Amiibo Doom, yes, it is possible to get past the mimics via the mimic clip, but that doesn't help you when you have to kill red and arm Igors in Eastern Palace for one of your crystals to enter GT in the first place, and shoot the eye statue in Palace of Darkness.
Yep. We're getting that bow no matter what.
Yep, it is 100% required. You can't finish 2 of your crystal dungeons without it.
Alright, so we've got Swamp left. No one's been to Graveyard Ledge, but we know that's the bottle. We know there's nothing in the big chest of Thieves Town. Pod is bow locked. Turtle Rock, we still need Cane.
And we could still not know.
3 chests in Hookshot Cave.
Yep, another crystal now down for Goomba. Poor Seto was so far behind the seed, it's not even funny, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately with not going to... See, this is the problem, like, for him, is that his lamp is in escape. And he has to get that because the fire rod is locked behind the lamp in Tower of Hera. And you would have to assume Seto would go to Swamp Palace after this. Like, going back to escape is gonna be probably like the last thing on his mind.
PKR has the flippers now. Alright. PKR mirrored out and has left Misery Meyer. This is actually what she needs to do. She now needs to take those flippers and go into Swamp. Is that where she's heading? It looks like it. There she goes. This is the play PKR needs to make. She is now pulling ahead of the runners here. Just needs the bow to be in a somewhat uncertain go mode. Goomba is not far behind though. We might have a race here, folks. PKR and Goomba, the first of our 2 runners to start setting up the Swamp Palace dive. Bo could be in here. Canis and Mario could be in here, but we're hoping for the bow. And afterwards, it is going to be go mode for PKR, or at least GT access. Alright. PKR beginning the dive into Swamp. Gonna read this hint real quick. And Goomba is now right on her heels. And Nissan Alex is falling behind them now as well. Compass in the first chest.
Alright, so...
So, folks, just as a reminder here, we just need to find the bow.
Yep, at this point, it's either the... Oh, you know what I just realized? Okay, one order of business we should do, since we're past the hour mark at this point, is we should definitely give a shout out to our featured runners of PKR, or Pink Kitty Rose, Nilson Alex, Goomba, and Sato 10987. And please be sure to give all of them follows on Twitch for the show that they are putting on for us. Because again, this is a daily race. We have 30 runners going at this point, but these are the 4 that stuck their necks out to get restreamed for this race.
That's right.
So
Sato is now going into Swamp as well. He's a lot further behind than the other 3. Missing that lamp in Escape.
Okay, so basically we're looking for the bow or the Cane of Samaria, which would lead us to Turtle Rock.
Yes. Misery Mire is completely off the table at this point because we've already found both items in there. One of them was, I believe, a shield, and the other one was... Or was it a shield, or was it money? I forget. But the other one was the flippers.
Shield and the flippers.
Yeah.
So, we've basically got, as far as I can tell, we've got 3 checks left. We've got the rest of Swamp Palace. We have the 3 items at Hookshot Cave. And as far as I remember, nobody's checked Bumper Cave. And they can get that cape off the Lake Hylia Island.
And we have a divergence here. PKR's gonna go left, whereas Goomba's gonna go straight to the back. In the big key and the blue boomerang.
Which is gonna send Goomba back up to the front to go check the big chest.
Does Goomba get sucked back down? No! Escapes that little glitch. All for the map, though.
Chat saying the PKR did check Bumper. It was just cash, so Bumper Cave is out. So it is either Swamp Palace or Hookshot Cave, as far as we can tell.
Left side swamp. Bombs. And we know there's gonna be 2 items over here. Money!
There it is! 1 hour, 8 minutes. Goomba is in go mode.
And PKR is not far behind. This is gonna come down to execution at this point. Nissan Alex is also making the play to left side swamp. Seto will get the bow here, but needs to get the lamp from Escape in order to get his fire on. And Long Run Gaming is bringing up a good point in chat here. This is not a 100% locked in go mode. If the big key in Ganon's Tower is right side, we have to go find the Cane of Samaria. But right now, it can only be in Ganon's Tower. Or in one of the Bolock sides of the dungeons we haven't already cleared yet.
Which is pretty much all of Pod.
Yeah, so Pod. So our runners might either decide to. Well, they're gonna go mode Eastern because they've already full cleared it. But our runners could either go mode Pod, which wouldn't be a bad play, or they can stay and dive for the full clear just to make sure they don't miss the Cane of Samaria.
Well, here's the thing. The big key is in the first chest. So if you want to go mode Pod, it's there for you.
Exactly.
We'll see what Goomba decides to do.
And Chad is right. Pod has a lot of chests, but only 5 of those chests contain items. And for all we know, Canis Maria might not be in any one of those chests. It could be in GT. But if GT is Canis Maria locked, we're going to need that cane. So it's literally just not so much a gamble as this is a catch-22. Do you full clear here and play it safe, or do you go mode and take the risk? Let's see what Goomba's decision is.
Yeah. Here's my feeling. My feeling is that you've kind of been sent all over the place. I would go mode, and then on my way to GT, since I have to go by Hookshot Cave, I do the 3 checks in Hookshot Cave before going to GT, and basically just take the gamble of, I'm either winning this race because I don't need the Canis Maria, and if I lose it because I need it, then so be it.
PKR is thinking, play it safe. Gonna be doing the bomb dupe here, and going to check Pyramid Fairy.
Goomba doesn't even check the second chest in the bow lock portion. He's just going straight for Helmasaur.
Goomba's going with what is the high risk here.
Alright. Pyramid Fairy. Piece of heart. $20.
20. Alright, so that didn't play out for PKR. But it's still close here. It doesn't look like it's close. But if PKR finds the Canis Maria and it is right side, then PKR only has to make 1 trip out the mountain. Whereas anyone else who takes the full go mode risk only to find that it is in right side GT, are going to be wasting a good couple minutes because they have to reclimb the mountain, as well as checking full left side to no avail. So overall, Pink is playing it safe. Goomba's playing it risky. We'll see if risk is going to be rewarded here.
And I think even if PKR were to go ahead and start playing it risky, I think Seto's probably going to head to Pod next, and because he's still looking for the lamp, which unfortunately, it'd be really nice if Seto would just mirror and go check escape after this big bomb. He may also check the show us all of Pod, but Goomba is on Helmasaur. PKR has the big key.
PKR is going straight ahead. Has to go right here. I would expect Seto to probably mirror here. Nope, Seto was just leaving.
Seto, you were right there. You just have to think 4th dimensionally.
We have a cane on Helmasaur King, but it is the cane of Berna, not the cane of Samaria.
Brian, we found your cane.
Alright, PKR is going to be... Alright, eyes on PKR here. Let's see if she decides to play it safe or make the risk. She's gonna be at least checking the side chest here. Getting the hammer out as well. 2 small keys.
She was gonna have to get the hammer to drop down here. And yep.
She's going for
not
it.
Gonna risk it from here.
Seto
is in Pod. So if Canis Samaria is here, because he still is looking for the lamp, we will know if the Canis Samaria is in Pod.
Yeah, meanwhile, Nissan Alice is going back. No, Nissan Alice hasn't done Ice Palace yet.
He was in there. He got the hook shot. He must have died. That's the only reason why that could be the case.
Yeah, probably. So, Goomba is in the lead in terms of our featured runners. We have no idea where the actual leader of this race is. It could be Goomba for all we know. Or it could be someone off stream. There's another 26 runners in this race.
Our tracker's saying Nilsson just kind of noped out of Ice Palace. But there wasn't really a rhyme or reason to it, so... If we get him in for an interview, we'll have to ask about that.
Oh... He's not supposed to know how to bomb. Didn't get the bomb jump properly.
Ouch.
Alright, down goes the Armos Knights. They have a map. And ladies and gentlemen, that's Crystal 7. So, care to give us your guesses in chat, folks, as to where our Janus Tower Big Key is going to be? 1 to 22, let's see him fly.
We don't have a bot, because again, this is a daily race, but get your guesses in. And again, the key numbers you're probably looking for are 18 to 22, because if it's one of those, that means we need a Cane of Samaria.
That's right, we're about to find out here. PKR is only a couple minutes behind, but we'll see. Does PKR go back in, or does she leave? She's leaving. Overall, I can see why this is the play that both of these runners are taking, at the very least. It is far more likely that Cane of Samaria is just on left side GT than it is in pod. Because there's 17 different locations that it could be on the left side. Shadow is doing what we call the hammer jump, a pixel per bomb jump, but unfortunately doesn't quite get it. This is one of the hardest bomb jumps to land in the entire game because it is double pixel perfect. And you're on a time limit too.
Alright, does Goomba check Hookshot Cave before... Yes.
Yes.
He will check Hookshot Cave to see if Kane is here.
PKR's going back in. Single arrow found for Goomba. Oh no, this is Eastern.
Yep.
It is not in Hookshot Cave, so it's either in Pod or it is in Dark Palace. Goomba trying to navigate his way through the dark. And yeah, PKR unfortunately just lost a lot of time there. That could cost her the race. Or at least a couple of positions. There's a lot of people in this race.
Alright, Young Guru 42 gave us a tier 1 sub. Thank you very much for 17 months in a row. And now Goomba is going to start showing us these GT big key checks. Number 1, small key. Number 2, 10 arrows, no Cane of Samaria, you're going left.
That's right. Alright. Torch item number 3, even if we don't pick it up. Is the shovel! Oh no! Shovel could lead to Cane of Samaria.
Yo dog, I heard you like fetch quests.
Alright. 4, 5, 6, and 7 coming up here now for Goomba in the Stalfos room.
There it is.
Big key! In chest number 4, folks. This is a Samaria list seed confirmed, and Goomba is 100% in go mode. We called it a 1 hour 18 minute, or the 1 hour 8 minute mark. We got confirmation of 1 hour 19 minutes.
So we actually had 3 people in chat guess number 4. Ruck Bleda was the first. We also had T-Dark Phoenix and Knuckle Plays was the other one. So again, we don't have the bot, so we can't really offer any sort of leaderboard, but I can offer a year's supply of randomizer seeds. All you have to do is go to ALTTPR.com and claim your prize. Offer only valid to version 32 of the randomizer. Offer completely ignores the fact that anybody can go to ALTTPR.com to claim the prize. The randomizer is for everyone. Have a randomizer last longer than 4 hours. Please consult the spoiler log. Have your doctor check you for eye succitis, which results in addiction to powder and potions. Terms and conditions apply. Void where prohibited. Japan 1.01 ROM not included. 119.52 for Goomba into the gauntlet.
I just let you have that. There's no way I can compete with that.
But anyway, the randomization is done for Goomba. He's got Tempered Sword, you got Silver Arrows, you got everything you need to just run this gauntlet and go finish this game.
Indeed, indeed. And it looks like Seto does have the Cane of Samaria. So it was in Palace of Darkness. So if you wanted to play it safe, would have been rewarded. So either way was valid in this case. But the faster option was the one just ignore pod and just go for the go mode.
And unfortunately, with not having that Cane of Samaria, usually these robes are very satisfying. It just using Samaria blocks to kill these Dark Quiz robes. Now, well, just gotta do it ye old-fashioned way.
Well, Ether still works.
Which is what Goomba's pulling out.
And a little bit of a fun fact there, if you actually used Ether in the first Wizard Room, you can actually see where the safe spots are on the floor. It's actually a function that they don't actually explain in-game. You're supposed to just figure it out. PK are gonna grab the shovel.
Won't matter once she gets to the Stalfos room check.
That's right. And folks, I will tell you this right now, Goomba may be the first finisher of the race. We have not had a finisher just yet, and I ain't gonna spoil it for you guys at this point.
Nope.
Usually if there's a significant lead, I do at least announce the winner, but I think you're gonna keep it a surprise.
To your point, it very well could be Goomba. Trolled Arm 2 down on your way to the Geometry Wars.
Someone actually clipped your spiel.
That's usually a fan favorite. Alright, we got a single off of Aga, a double, could have been a triple, but was a blue ball.
Yep.
One.
Looks good.
Ooh, that could have been a triple too, but that's 5, so just one more to go. That'll do it.
And the clones always shoot a reflectable shot, so there we go. With Aga 2 down, it is now time to fight the pig. Tempered Sword, Silver Arrow in hands. 12 slashes a phase to get us through the first 2 phases, after which 4 more slashes to get the pig to break the floor and to advance us to phase 4, the darkness technique. Keep the torches lit. Hit stun Ganon with the sword and let loose 4 silver arrows. Very unlikely that Goomba will miss his 11 shots, but if for some reason that Goomba does, it is just 3 spin attacks per missed silver arrow. That is with the silverless strats. You have to do it when Ganon begins to teleport away. And it is a 2-frame window, so if you're playing swordless, yeah, that's not physically possible. So you're better off just finding yourself the silver arrows in those instances.
And while you were explaining all that, Goomba's already into phase 3.
Indeed. Yeah, and not being nice to those teleports. And yeah, you can see right here on PKR that Ether strat and the 4 as well. Second hit now on phase 3 here for Goomba. Seto taking out the Armos Knights. So Rare's like, we'll just be good. Ganon here, have a couple.
How about 2 for it's a nice double there. That will be a double there. And that'll do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in chat for Goomba, who is the winner of the featured 4, but is he the winner of the restream?
We will find out.
Well, of course he's the winner of the restream, but he is not the winner of this race. Goomba finishes in second place with a time of 1:25.15. The winner was Killer App in first with a time of 1:23.01. GG's to both of them.
GG's indeed. Alright, we will see about getting Goomba in here for an interview.
Alright. As Boulder 2 falls and Helmsar King falls as well, we are now joined by Goomba. GG's and congratulations. And wow, the Moldorm chest had the gold sword.
GG.
GG.
How you feeling, man?
I feel so good about that route. That worked out so well.
Yeah. If you had played it safe and was wondering where the Cane of Samaria was, it was in Palace of Darkness. Seto found it. And Seto is just now, unfortunately, going through Escape to get his lamp. And that lamp, as you know, locked your Fire Rod and Hera.
Oof.
As well as the crystal there.
I like seeing both rods in Tower of Hera. That was pretty funny.
Especially with the unique item hit.
Yeah, like I walk in and I get my ice rod and I look at my pendant and I'm like, but I wanted the other one. And then I get the other one.
And now it is PKR's turn to fight the pig.
So, how... The way that seed worked out, it was... I don't want to say it felt linear, but it certainly felt like the seed was very... Never really gave you, like, a bunch of progression. It was more like, here's one progression item that only opens up so much. And it just felt like you guys kind of had to... kind of kept getting, like, bottlenecked into these different places.
Yeah, it was a very, very straightforward seed, I feel. Like, even the flippers in Mystery Mire were really, really obvious.
Yeah. Just be glad you didn't have to find the Cane of Samaria, because that would have led you down a huge rabbit hole if you didn't find your bow first. Thankfully, it was bow locked.
Yeah. The bigger concern would have been if the Cane of Samaria was locked the GT Big Key. That would have been unfortunate.
How much were you sweating that?
I mean, I wasn't too worried about it, because I figured if it was required, it was probably in GT anyway, or somewhere really stupid.
If I may cut you off here real quick, your GG's in chat folks for Pink Kitty Rose, who has now crossed the threshold, second on our rain stream, 4th place overall with an official time of 1:28.37. Shire in 3rd place with 1:27.43. GG's to both of them as well.
GG's. But yeah, so, as I was saying, I figured that if the Cane of Samaria was required, it was probably somewhere stupid or just in Palace of Darkness. So, Palace of Darkness, like, if it wasn't in GT, I was going straight back to Palace of Darkness. And I felt moderately ahead throughout the entire run, because I feel like my route worked out super well, and I had the stupid boots at 5 minutes. That helped.
We are now joined by PKR herself. GG's to you as well. Great race.
I played a little safe, but one of those things where it's still fine. I was only 5 minutes behind.
Yeah.
At least in terms of the featured... Oh, sorry, Wolf. In terms of the featured runners, do you want to know what made the difference?
Left side swamp and checking Pyramid Fairy?
You would be correct!
Yeah, I didn't believe in the memes. I was trying to find Kata Samaria.
What? Well, it wasn't Palace of Darkness, but it was the Samarialess Seed. A rare treat.
At least that worked out overall, because it's just like... I was worried. I didn't want to go up there without it, so I just kept checking places.
Yeah, I was concerned too, but I decided to just YOLO.
Ah, well. It was a bigger race. Technically, I probably should have, since I'd already made a few save plays already this seed. But at the same time, it's like... It's not like it hurt me any. Oh no, I'm a couple of minutes behind where I would have been. Ooh.
Hey,
lost
top 5 is...
1 to 2 places.
Yeah, top 5 is still pretty good, in my book.
There was no way I was going to be beating Killer F anyways, because that is very much a god round right there. He basically didn't do any of the optional stuff.
Yeah, shaving 2 minutes would have been pretty tough. Not sure where he did that, but alright. Well, whatever. I'll take it.
Also, did you take out Lamolus?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't want to get caught by that, so it's just like, I know I just got Dark World access, but...
Yeah, I wasn't having any of that.
It's funny, because in some ways I was saying, when you guys were doing that, I was mentioning that, well, with Meyer being a pendant, we may never need to go to Meyer, and so why don't you just get this out of the way so you don't have to come back? Well, about that, you kind of need to go there for the flippers.
Yeah.
It was nice for me to just have the confidence to be like, well, I already got my hook shot from Sequence Breaking Ice Palace, so I'm just gonna bounce after these flippers.
Yeah,
And-
I stayed.
And Seto just now got the Fire Rod, which you know is locked behind that lamp, and you were actually the first of the runners on the reaching to find that.
I'm not surprised. Nobody wants to do the front of escape, but they had to.
I mean, I did
Also-
front of us really early.
Also,
I just
I want to ask this: what did you guys think of the sword on Uncle?
That was
I mean,
funny.
got me to go do front of escape. It's like, oh, we're standard now. Okay.
That was
hey.
my master sword, so...
Nisa and Alex actually checked the other chests there in the salvage room, and one of them was actually the blue mail.
Yeah.
Meh. Whatever.
Good for him.
Yeah, plenty of
The
health.
Unica sprite is a much better green male sprite, anyways.
Indeed. And
Same goes for
you had plenty of health as well. I think you had, what, 13 hearts by the time you were up, GT?
Plenty. Although that was a nice gold sword on the validation chest.
Aw, I didn't open that. I had to try against Ganon. Feels bad.
Well, too bad for you. It's right there. It's free. It could have been a couple of nice things, and you abandon it.
But, like, I had tempered in silver, so what do I care?
But you gotta do it. You're featured. It's just not right.
But see, because I didn't open it, I got the sub 130 collection rate. It was all calculated.
Oh, my collection rating.
Either way, Nilson Alex is grabbing some safety fairies and then gonna make his way up the gauntlet.
Well, I guess my file name sort of works. Kinda.
Yeah, in case you're wondering where PKR, Goomba's file name, Pink Wolf Farm.
Well, I'll give at least probably a fit for this.
Yeah, not me. That's good, right?
All because I was playing too cautious. Oh well.
I mean,
Because you know what would happen if I skipped that? Kesubari totally would have been there instead. It would have been required, and I'd feel dumb.
I mean, I was talking about it earlier, risk versus reward. In this case, if you had played it safe with Pod, you would have found the King of Samaria and been perfectly safe, but was not necessary regardless.
Yep. Getting the nice super fast go mode pod was very nice.
I
Very nice.
did not pass that up, even if I was a bit scared of the king.
It's just like, well, hello, Big Key. I guess we're going Helmsar, aren't we?
And then I got a cane from Helmasaur King. the wrong one now.
So let's just take a moment to appreciate that both rods were in Tower of Hera and both canes were in Pod.
Isn't that convenient?
And we also had 2 different unique hints that said that a unique item was in Tower of Hera.
I actually think I saw a third one.
The third one was Big Key in basement.
Yeah, there were 2 that I recall. One in Swamp and... I forget what the other one was.
Man, no, they really didn't want you in Hookshot Cave today. Both
I-
Tyrod and Bombos up on Death Mountain. This is like, no, you're not going to Hookshot Cave, get lost.
I still checked Hookshot Cave on the way to GT, just in case it was Canis of
The unique item in Hera was in Swamp and Hera, both in the entrance.
Did you
Or not
actually
Hera,
find...
Ice.
Did you find the other item in Mire, or...?
Yeah, it was a nice shield in the cutscene chest.
Of course.
Thankfully, because of the key logic, I knew I could skip the big key or the big chest and the one right next to it, because I had not found any small keys, and the item just kind of had to be in cutscene chest because of the key placement. So I had to skip a few chests, I guess.
Yeah, and in the meantime, folks, we've had a couple more finishes here. Nidoryfic went 5th with a time of 1:34.23. Dragon Strike 1988, 1:34.32, and coming in just now, actually, Lin 7th with a time of 1:36 flat.
And as you were saying that, DT came in 8th place, 1:36.44.
Well, I was thinking that with the times on stream, but oh well.
Oh, I keep forgetting about that small problem.
It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, GG's to both of you, PKR, Goomba. Any final thoughts on the sea before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your day?
I'm just really glad that I didn't get punished for going to Eastern Palace at the 5-minute mark as usual.
I haven't had a Samaria list open in Standard Seed in like months, so this has been refreshing. Very refreshing.
Alright.
It's been a while.
Once again, folks, get your GG's in the chat for PKR and Goomba. 4th and 2nd, and respectively, in our daily race here today. Good showing as well.
For now, I depart. Goodbye. And may there be more entrants later, yes.
Sure. That sounds fun.
Maybe. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Alright.
I can
Nissan Alex now.
stick around for a bit.
Alright. Nissan Alex now with a butter sword about to fight Agatu, and Seto climbing the tower now. Or at least entering Ganon's tower.
Alex having a little bit of problem with Agatu. Gets a double there. And Seto is going to show us what was on the right side.
Yep. Makes sense to me. Doesn't know the big keys there. We have our 9th place coming in, Scary Olive, with a time of 1:38.11.
Alright, there's 6 for Nilson Alex, and now it is time for the big pig.
That's right.
Kicking the Samaria block is always very satisfying to see.
220 rupees on the left side. 320 rupees on the right side, rather. 420 rupees in the compass room.
Jackpot, I guess?
More like triple cherries.
Oh! Alex taking a death. Have to pay
Yes.
respects.
And this will actually change the fight significantly for Alex. Ganon's teleport pattern will now be different compared to what we saw from PKR and Goomba. Because his teleports are seated, but the seating is now changed because that instance of Ganon is no more.
Still good setup, though, to get through Phase 1 and Phase 2. Alright, so while he's working on that, and also doing some Brian strats to make sure he gets all of his slashes, we had Walther the Fourth come in 10th place at 139.25, and just now coming in Hayfield Bay at 11th place at 140.01.
Yep. And as a reminder, folks, this is not the only daily race we'll be featuring today. Please come and join us on Speed Gaming 3 tonight at 9 for an Overworld Glitches race. If you want to think this is crazy enough, imagine now with world wrapping around Hyrule. Pretty much nothing is off limits.
It is very trippy. Very trippy.
Well, I say nothing is off limits, but you're not allowed to do any underworld glitches. You have to play the dungeons vanilla as intended.
We also have some Super Mario 3 randomizer going on starting at 7:30 on Speed Gaming 2. Actually, we got a triple header of Super Mario 3 randomizer there. Also some Zelda 1 randomizer at 9 on the main channel on Speed Gaming 4. And actually Zelda 1 and Metroid 1 combo randomizer on the main Speed Gaming channel at 11 p.m. Eastern. But with the fanfare done, and Nilson Alex walking through the door, Nilson Alex finishes in 12th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 19 seconds. GG.
And PBing in terms of the SRL time by 49 seconds, so pretty nice time. And coming in just behind him is Jixon with a 13th of 141.28. Also getting a PB with 2 minutes 11 seconds. And we are not joined by Nilson Alex. GG as well.
GG.
So,
Yeah.
were you worried about the Cane of Samaria? That's my first question.
Yeah, I was looking for Cane of Samaria.
Pod.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Seto went and found it because at the time Seto did not find the lamp. Lamp was actually technically his go mode, unfortunately.
oh, that sucks. Yeah, I could have got Lamp if I went Hyrule Castle first, but I didn't go Hyrule Castle even though we got Sword really early, so...
Yeah, Sword was
But,
even on
yeah.
the uncle.
Yeah, but the Cane of Samaria is why I basically fucked up. Ice Palace because I couldn't nail the bomb jumps today. I don't know why, but I just couldn't nail them, so...
Well, some people have off days. I will raise my hand to that. I have struggled with bomb jumps every now and then too.
Yeah, if it's not bunking, it's it's the bomb jumps. But hey, I finished, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Also nice
was
that you
fun.
got the gold sword as well.
Validation just. But yeah, it was a pretty straightforward seed, I would say. It wasn't that. It was more like Cane of Samaria if we really needed Cane of Samaria, which we didn't really need today, so that was good.
So, here's the question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
You went to the desert first to check Agina, but you immediately left.
Yeah.
Did you, when you went back and saw the Moon Pearl on the desert ledge, a place you could have checked just before saving quitting, did you regret that?
I regret that a lot, but at the same time, I don't think I had the boots, and I didn't know if it was like required to finish desert. Like there could have been another item.
Well,
so,
well, if it's any peace of mind, the item on Lammolos was just a heart piece.
Yeah.
So you really could have just gone through desert just to get the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, I could have done that, but sometimes you do stupid stuff. Sometimes rando got a rando, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why I did what I did.
I mean,
Well, I suppose
it gets all of us.
Yeah, I suppose one could say that hindsight is 20/20.
I mean, I would have done like if I was like 100% sure that Desert didn't have any more items in there, I would have done Desert before the boots, even though I didn't know where the boots were at that point. But when I got the boots in Eastern, felt more like a logic way to do Desert. But I mean, we had Dark Road access quite fast either way, so. And you know, I mean, like Tower Farah having both Ice Rod and Fire Rod, that's just stupid.
Yeah. Folks, we have several other finishes here. I believe I've read Kurit in 14th with the time 141.58, but I haven't. Well, there you go. Owing Matt in 15th place with 142.12. This is a special one to me, I think, because they improved their personal best by over 20 minutes.
Holy
Very
shit.
nice C for them.
Yes. AK
Drizzit,
16th place, 142.53. Sorry about that.
Technolink in 17th with 143.51, also getting a PB. And Etium 18th place, 144.43. So lots of runners coming in now.
I have PB with 49 seconds today, so
Yeah. Congratulations on your PB as well.
that is always something with 49 seconds. Like that's always nice, even though I could have done Ice Pals much quicker than I did. But yeah. GG to Goomba and Pink Kid Rose as well.
Yeah. Second and fourth respectively. PKR played it safe. Goomba played it a little bit riskier, and perfect example of risk versus reward here. You could have played it safe, tried to look for the Canis Mario, or you could have just risked it and went all in on Ganon's Tower. And today it was a treat.
Yeah, I normally do right side Giannis Tower, but since I didn't have King of Samaria, I couldn't really do that, so it had to be left side today.
Again, I just assumed that if the cane was required, it was most likely in Ganon's Tower anyway.
But yeah, it was an okay seed, I would say.
Any final thoughts about it?
I don't want to do this again. I don't want to do this seed again.
Oh, I mean, it's a nice refresher to have a Samaria-less seed if there's nothing else. If nothing else.
I mean, like more like a seed where I fail with bun jumps.
I mean, I can relate a Samaria seed in Link of the Past to having a ladderless seed in Zelda 1. Ladder is like 95% required in most seeds, but the times when it's not, it's actually pretty refreshing because you don't have to worry about another item.
Oh yeah. When I saw the shovel on the torch, I was like, maybe King of Samaria is in the digging spot. Who knows?
Oh no. Get the hit, Seto.
Got it.
Ooh, that was close. He ran out of magic there. But get your G's in chat for Seto, folks. The last of our featured 4-2 finish.
Finish the fanfare, walk through the door. Sato 10.987 finishes in 19th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour 48 minutes flat. GG.
Yes, we'll get him in here for an interview shortly, I would assume. What a seat this was, just in general. It opened up, it was like, go to like 3 different out-of-the-way locations to get all the pieces you need for Desert. And then it's just linear from there.
Yeah. It was a pretty straightforward seed. So you can't really complain about that.
Yeah. The mirror also would helped you a lot in your routing. PKR actually did not grab the mirror right away in Teasdown. She actually waited to find the hammer first.
Yeah, I got mirror immediately when I went into Thieves Town. That was my first dungeon to visit, like, in the Dark World, so...
Yeah, and it made sense. You had tons of bits.
Yeah, and Flute on Purple Chest, that was pretty awesome. That paid out for once.
Seto is going to join us, just needs a few seconds, and we will get him in.
Yeah, overall, I would say the seed is sort of refreshing that you had a Samaria-less seed. But at the same time, it was just a sort of like here's an item, here's a few places you can go, and then it just sort of like bottlenecks you into just having not really much in the way of openness to the seed.
Didn't really open up until we got Flippers and Mire. Like, that was, you could do Ice Palace and Swamp.
Yeah. But GG's you as well, Nilson Alex. Great racing.
Thanks, man.
And we are now joined by Seto. GG's.
If you say so. Wow. Thanks to the GG's. I cannot believe both rods in Tower of Hair.
Yeah. And that lamp in Eastern, or not even Eastern, Escape kind of threw you off a little bit.
It did. I was climbing up the mountain and I was thinking maybe Turtle Rock is the last ditch, and I was like, wait, this is open. I haven't been to Escape. Except for the back half. Let's go back. And I'm so glad I did.
Yeah. And Cadence Samaria actually was not required this seed.
No, and I was actually rather excited when I found that. It was useless.
Yeah. Thanks for showing us what was on the right side, though. That was actually quite entertaining. 420 rupees.
Always. And then that gold sword at the end, I was like, well, that just made the league easier.
Yeah. Didn't actually see him pick up the final chest, but yeah. Goomba, the second place, first on the restream, actually did not pick up the Moldarm chest.
See, I usually grab it in case it's like my fourth heart container or something that's gonna fill my hearts up, something like that.
Yeah.
Makes
Makes sense.
Full health, tempered silvers. Didn't really see any reason to waste the 1 second to open it.
Well, at my point, if I had been in a little higher up in the placing, maybe I would have just went on without it, but I was already pretty far back. I didn't care. It's a second at that point.
Yeah. There's also the fact that I was approaching Aghanim 2 and nobody was finished yet, so I knew that every second counted.
Exactly.
So real quick, if I can jump in real quick, we do have more PBs to call out. We got Knock coming in at 20th place, 151.35. Christopher Warkin, or Questopher, I don't even know, I think that's right. 21st place, 151.52. That was PBs for both of them, Knock by 34 seconds, Warkin for 11, and then Cassidy Moen came in 22nd, 152.13.
Yeah. An 8-minute 11 PV for Questopher Warkin, putting them from just having just over a sub just shy of a sub 2 PV to actually having a sub 2 PV, so very nicely done. And given the day, I guess you could say the randomizer is giving a lot of love to the runners, giving them a lot of good PVs here. And a very lovely seat as well without having the use of the Samaria.
Yeah, this was actually a very friendly seed, as long as you don't fall for some of the minor traps here and there.
Yeah. It was somewhat linear, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, more or less. I was about to take that sword on Uncle into Escape, and I changed my mind, and that changed everything for me.
Yeah.
All right, well, any final thoughts from our runners before we wrap up shop here?
Not really. Just
Thank you guys
thanks for having me.
That's about it.
GG's to everybody, to the commentators and everybody else. Just GG, and thank you guys for having me.
Yes.
Thank you guys for featuring or being our featured runners and being restreamed. Was certainly a privilege and was quite the race to watch. Once again, for Pink Kitty Rose, Nilson Alex 92, Goomba, and Sato 10987. Please be sure to give them all follows on Twitch. They certainly deserved it today.
And make sure to also follow our trackers, Drossi and Roka, as well as my co-counter, Jax Ruffy. And of course, we are on Speed Gaming. Make sure to follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming's 2 through 6 so you don't miss any racing action, not just Link to the Past. Like he said earlier, we do have some All Boards No Search tournament for Zelda 1. We got some Zelda 1 Metroid Run crossover randomizer as well. And just other races in general as on this thing. I think we have some Portal going on, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't see it in the schedule, but I mean, we've got all sorts of games being played here on the Speed Gaming network of channels.
Yes, right. But that's going to do it for us here today. So from all of us here to Link to the Randomizer, I have been Wolflink0370, and we shall see you all next time. And thank you for watching. Have a good day, everyone.
And I do want to at least say, please be sure to also give Wolflink a follow on Twitch, since he was modest enough to not give it for himself. I have been Jex Ruffy. Thank you to everyone. We'll see you next mission.